Let's see some point of differences between uniform and non-uniform motion. So at first, uniform motion. Uniform motion, the definition is quite simple. When an object is moving with constant velocity, it is said to be uniform motion. Again, if an object is moving with constant velocity, then it is said to be uniform motion. If it is not moving with constant velocity, it is said to be non-uniform motion. Now, the important thing is graph. Okay, so if you see the graph of uniform motion in which velocity is a constant, see this is v, this is t. If velocity is constant, then graph will be like this. It is a straight line graph parallel to the time axis. It proves that even if the time changes, velocity is not changing. So if the graph is parallel to time, if the graph of v versus t is parallel to time, then it is a kind of uniform velocity. If we draw a graph of x versus t, then we have to keep the slope to be constant. Okay, the slope means the angle at each and every point. Or we can see if it is a straight line, if the graph of x versus t is a straight line, then it is also kind of uniform motion, irrespective of the quadrant in which all these graphs are made. That is, if the graph is like this in first quadrant, then also it is a uniform motion. If it is like this, then also it is a uniform motion. These all are uniform motions. The condition is for x versus t, the graph should be linear, irrespective of any quadrant. In such cases, in all these above cases, velocity will be positive. In these cases, velocity will be negative. And if we talk about acceleration, see, if velocity is a constant, then acceleration is 0. Why? Because acceleration is defined as the time rate of change of velocity. So if velocity is constant, then acceleration must be 0. So if it is 0, we have to draw it along the time axis when a is equal to 0. Okay, so when a is equal to 0, the graph will be like this. And if we talk about non-uniform motion, all the graphs other than these three are of non-uniform motion. Okay, it can be anything, any graph, any quadrant, not just these three. Okay, so all the graphs except these three depicts the non-uniform motion. Okay, so that's all about uniform and non-uniform motion.